What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. So here we go by Financial Coffee Channel. Trump proposes massive refund checks, but is it realistic for us to receive them? We'll just kind of see what's going on and let's listen to the video.
From Thomas Jefferson on have exercised some kind of impoundment authority. Trump can't be forced by Congress to spend money unconstitutionally. You can't say, here's $100 million, only hire white people. He can't be forced by Congress to use money to interfere with national security and foreign policy goals of the presidency. And I think that the president has the right also to pause spending, as he has, and say, I can find ways to spend taxpayer dollars more efficiently. If Congress says build a bridge for $1 billion and Trump can say, I can build it for $500 million instead, I think the Constitution gives the president that kind of discretion.
Well, guess what, people? President Trump is thinking about sending every American a massive, huge refund check. We are talking about $5,000. Yes, $5,000, 5 G's. Now, how is he planning to do it? There are two key words to remember here: empowerment and dividend. Empowerment is a word that I just learned, just like many of you watching right now. The other key word is dividend, as in doge dividend. We all know what a dividend is, but what is empowerment? Well, let's find out from Trump himself.
For 200 years under our system of government, it was undisputed that the president had the constitutional power to stop unnecessary spending through what is known as impoundment. Very simply, this meant that if Congress provided more funding than was needed to run the government, the president could refuse to waste the extra funds and instead return the money to the general treasury. Thomas Jefferson famously used this power, as did many other presidents, until it was wrongfully curtailed by the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. Not a very good act. I will then use the president's long-recognized impoundment power to squeeze the bloated federal bureaucracy for massive savings. This will be in the form of tax reductions for you. This will help quickly to stop inflation and slash the deficit. Reasserting the president's historic impoundment authority will also restore critical negotiating leverage with Congress to keep spending under control. Very simple. We're going to keep spending under control. This is the only way we will ever return a balanced budget. Impoundment. This policy is anti-inflation, anti-swamp, anti-globalist, and it's pro-growth, pro-taxpayer, pro-American, and pro-freedom.
Doge dividend checks. He can even sign them if he wants to. I know he likes to sign them. If Trump was running for re-election, he'd win in a landslide. And these aren't stimmy checks, like where we printed money and mailed them out. These are savings, costs us nothing. It's a dividend payment that Americans deserve. We'll take the billions being spent on migrant DEI and changes for Cambodian climate psychiatrists and just give the money back to the people. How could anybody be against that? How could Democrats fight that? Giving hardworking families rebate checks from Doge savings.
As you would have predicted, Democrats are already fighting the idea of sending a massive refund to the American people. But why would they do it? I mean, aren't they elected to fight for the American people? Let me tell you why they are fighting it. They don't want Trump to get all the praise and all the credit for doing something good for the American people. Plus, Democrats only give you anything when they need your votes.
So Russ vote, you know what?
Yeah, okay, I'm just thinking about this. Okay, if Trump could do all this and of course, okay, if Democrats doesn't want to give him all the credit. And another thing, okay, if you could write the checks, who gets them from the Americans, because, is there going to be like, they have to pay, because there has to be some criteria, taxpayers, how much money do we make? Is that, because there's a lot of questions to ask on this. And right now, I don't think this refund's going to happen, If it does, cool, but I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever, And a lot of us is like, yep, if we see it, cool. If we don't, I don't see this happening as of now. This is nice and all that, but I just don't see it happening. But let's listen some more.
if Congress says build a bridge for $1 billion and Mr. Trump says, no, I can do it cheaper at 500 million, why not impound the unused 500 million?
Well, look, Larry, the president has recognized that 200 years of presidents had the ability to impound funds. And as a result, we're able to do a far better job of being able to control costs. And what we see at the end of the fiscal year is agencies have the normal bureaucracy approach to use it or lose it. But what the Impoundment Control Act does is come on and say, look, if you're trying to save money in the end of the fourth quarter and do things smartly, oh my gosh, that's something that is a violation of the Impoundment Control Act. And what we see at the end of the fourth quarter is flat screen TVs and copy machines in the halls of every agency because they're just trying to push it out the door. The president is well aware of the authority that other presidents have had, and he has put forward on the campaign trail ideas on that front. We don't have anything to announce today, but this is certainly something he's well aware of the power that should exist with the executive branch.
And listen, right at the heart of this is a fundamental dispute about presidential power that is built into the Constitution, which is a long-standing power of the president that is called impoundment. Impoundment is when the chief executive declines to spend money that Congress has appropriated. Impoundments existed for a long time. The first president to exercise the impoundment power was Thomas Jefferson in 1801, and Republicans and Democrats have exercised the impoundment power for centuries. I believe what the Trump administration is doing is engaging in a systematic litigation strategy to return the constitutional power of impoundment to the president. Doing so would be very, very good for reining in the out-of-control spending we're seeing.
The Doge Committee found an epic, massive, huge fraud on Social Security. They actually found that Social Security is paying people that are way over 200 years old. Yes, you heard that right. People who are over 200 years old were getting checks from Social Security. How in the world is that possible? I don't know. I have no clue. Now, let's hear from the president.
But people that live to 100 to 109, 4,734,000. Wow, that's a lot. That means over 100 years old. They have 4 million people. I don't know too many. I know people that are doing great in their 90s, but not too many people over 100. But over 120, from 120 years.
This is shocking. Like 446, like someone is alive. I think it's somebody collecting on their welfare, especially, from 110 to 119. You're like, what the hell is going on here, Yeah, and then even for 110 years old or 100 to 109, 4 million. So, and then from 90s, 6 million. So we'll have to see. So I'm just kind of like, what the hell? Some of these guys are collecting Social Security on fraud or whatever. So let's see.
Years old people that are 120 years old up to 129, 3 million people. Wow. That can't possibly be, because the record is like, I think it's one person, a woman, lived to 127, but they have 3,472. Okay, but now we're going really in. People from 130 years old to 139 years old.
Yeah.
3,936,000. Wow. I wonder if people are getting paid with all this. I mean, are these checks? And that's what we're checking right now. People from 140 years old to 149 years old, 3,542,000, 140 years old and beyond. Now we're really going, because we're looking to break the record by 25 years. People from 150 years old to 159 years old, 1,345,000. These are by the way, these are in the computer files. This is what they do well. It's simple. Wait a minute. People from 160 years old to 169 years, 121,000. So 160-year-old people. 170 to 179,000, 6,087. But now let's go into the real numbers. From 200 to 209 years old, 879 people. From 210 years old, I haven't met any of them.
Yeah.
And if I did, I would bless them. I would I would worship the ground they walk on. 210 to 219 years, 866.
Oh, God.
From 220 years old to 229 years old, 1,039.
What the
And
hell?
then you have two people from 240 years old to 249 years old, one person. And there's one person that's 360 years old. That's just
Oh, God.
Do you guys know that some refugees, when they come to the US, receive way more benefits than US taxpayers who have worked their whole life? That's really unfair, to be honest with you. Marco Rubio, a former US Senator from Florida, and now the US Secretary of State, is about to tell us a story. Let's watch it.
I see a lot in South Florida are people that have been in this country that maybe came from Cuba 45 years ago. They've worked here their entire lives. They retire. They get $800, $900, $1,000 a month from Social Security. And then they run into somebody who just got here from Cuba 3 months ago, 29 years old, doesn't work, and is given $1,500 a month in benefits by our government because they're refugees.
Yep, that's
that
bull.
refugee, a year later, is traveling back to Cuba 15 times. So you're a refugee fleeing oppression from a place that you now go back and visit 15 times the following year. And in the meantime, we're giving you Medicaid, food stamps, health care for your children, cash payments from the refugee fund. So imagine if you've been working here for 40 years and your Social Security check is smaller than the benefits going to a 28-year-old.
Yeah.
Able-bodied person who just got here. That's real. That happens. That's happening every day. That makes no sense.
True that. And yeah, I'm like, holy moly. Yeah. So, well, okay, and I'm not expecting the $5,000 check, but I'm going to be like, yo, let's clean all this crap up with Social Security. Holy moly. Yeah, clean is up. Clean it up, man. This is some serious effort, man. Yeah, and clean up the spending. Stop giving money to damn Ukraine. I'm glad we're kind of slowing down on that. Yep. And yeah, America first, and that's what Trump is doing, and yeah. So, geez. Yeah. So all that stuff, man. So we'll see in the next 4 years. Now, would it change like the culture? Probably not. And will it change a lot of other things? Probably not. So, but maybe. And can we kind of go back to the lower prices? Not as much, but but at least we can stop this just for a little bit. All right, so if any of you enjoyed India's content, please give me the HKO special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you are, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.